As a professional dungeon master with a family full of geeks, I've scheduled a game of D&D every single day for the last several years. While my playtime is obviously skyrocketed, matching that with prep time has been almost impossible. So in this video, I'll teach you 5 simple tricks that I use so that you can streamline your prep time without sacrificing the quality of your games. Welcome to the channel. My name's Timothy, and though some people do call me Tim, you're busy. So let's just get right down to it. Tip number 1, if you're not sure where they're going, ask. This might seem a little bit obvious, but it can be really stressful as the DM to try and figure out where everybody is going while still conveying the air of mystery and all-knowing that, for whatever reason, seems to come with the role. If you're not sure where they're going, you need to find out that information, and asking the players is the most direct and manageable means. If you want to try and couch it and sneak it in there, use an NPC in order to question them at the end of the session and transition into the plan for the next week. If for whatever reason the game rolls around and you're not sure where they're going, you're going to have a much harder time of providing a satisfying game experience. Your players won't mind if you just ask them to tell you bluntly where they're headed so that you can prepare correctly in that direction. Second, write the recap yourself. Don't pass this off to another player and require them to be recalling the different information and hoping that they remember the things that you actually know are important. Instead, remind them of the information that they have gathered that is going to help them to make the choices that are needed for the ongoing story. While we're living and breathing our campaign and writing it down midweek, they're forgetting about game time until next game time, except for the cool stories that they're telling with their friends. When you're writing a recap, it allows you to deliver certain pieces of super vital information. You can tell them where they are at this exact moment, describing and setting the scene. You can tell them why they're there, not only what subquest they might be working on at the moment, but how it ties into the main plot. And you can remind them of the important information that you have funneled to them through exposition, NPCs, clues, items, etc., so that they aren't stuck trying to remember the information or looking through their notes, because you are delivering it to them up front at the beginning of the session to jog their memory. Third, plan a script for your session. While we all know that players are unlikely to go down the paths that we are expecting them to go down, taking a little bit of time to think about where they are likely to go and what you will need on hand if they do so is time very much well spent. By preparing ourselves with a script that outlines what we expect to accomplish in our session, not only where we think they might go, but what kind of goal we have for the finish, it allows us to plot out in our minds potential ups and downs to the tension, as well as to prepare ourselves more fully by streamlining and focusing the things that we prepare so that we have on hand those things that will help most for those circumstances. Fourth, we can take a page out of the Lazy DM's playbook and prepare lists of secrets and complications with a twist. I really like Mike Shea's ideas regarding having a list of secrets that you can utilize to plug information in the game rather than specifically having to figure out in advance where each of those pieces of information might be found. It allows for a little bit more improvisation in the moment to get the information to the players and allows you to provide rewards for creative ideas that occurred to your players that never would have occurred to you. The idea of a list of complications, on the other hand, is basically a list of things that might change the mood and state, the tension and flow of your game. The twist that I have on the list 10 approach of Mike Shea is to split my list into 2 groups of 5. 5 items on my list are positive upbeat moments, while 5 of them are downbeat moments. 5 items on there that cause chaos, danger, or otherwise bring down the moment and work against the players, and 5 moments on there that twist things in the player's favor, introduce something fun or lively, and otherwise raise the mood. This allows me to pick and choose from that list in the moment depending upon what has been going on in the game, so that if things are turning particularly dour, I can add some spark and liveliness, and if things have been going smoothly and are starting to get stale, I can add a dramatic turn. An important thing to note is that the power of these lists is the power of putting them into your brain, and writing that list fresh every time really is an important part of the process. It's easy to think that it will save you time by copying and pasting your list in your notes from one week to the next, but in actuality, it just makes those items less in your brain when the time comes to play. And if you're preparing close to the game like I do, you're really going to want to have a fresh list that is constantly renewing. Finally, collect tools that help you specifically. One of my adages is Dungeon Master, know thyself. You and I prepare our games differently because you and I have completely different strengths. And no matter how well-intentioned I am in trying to provide you with this list of ways to improve your game or tools to provide that will help you, I can't give you the actual correct answer that's going to work perfectly for you at your table unless we can talk about it face to face. I don't know if names come easily to you or if you really could benefit from having a random list. I don't know if you can improvise a balanced encounter on the fly or whether or not it helps you to have that prepared in advance. That kind of information is critical for you to discover about yourself and then to prepare tools that will help you appropriately. There's tons of resources on the internet nowadays for you to be able to provide yourself with the tools anywhere that you find yourself lacking so that you can make your game, as John 4 says, an 11 out of 10. It's my hope that one of those tools that's going to help to propel you into the 11 out of 10 category is this channel. Feel free to subscribe and check out this playlist of DMing tips that will help you to improve your game. Thanks so much for watching.